Lootboxes have begun to draw the attention of the US Congress, and Path of Exiles on PS4 has been delayed. All that and more, I'm Ethos, and this is Free to Play Weekly. First off in the news this week, hate to start off on a low point, but it looks like PlayStation 4 owners won't be getting Path of Exile for Christmas after all. Grinding Gear Games originally planned to bring its free-to-play ARPG to Sony's console in December, but it looks like those plans have changed, the company announced today. Grinding Gear Games' Chris Wilson posted on the forums that his team underestimated the amount of work it would take to finish the certification process during the busy Christmas period. The new time frame for the Path of Exile PS4 release is now late January to early February. But on the bright side, as you wait for Path of Exile, you can check out a brand new class for Skyforge. With the release of the Distant Frequencies update on December the 11th, players will be able to gain access to the new Soundweaver class. This new support class uses its musical talent to win battles. Sound waves crush their enemies, loudspeakers heal their allies, and a guitar solo is a good way to go. Those looking for access to the Soundweaver right off the bat will be able to get it by just purchasing the Collector's Edition for $35. In addition to the new class, it also contains a costume, weapon, and a selection of items to help players get a leg up. Those of you who pre-order will also get a bonus color option for their costume. Moving on, Wargaming, as we previously brought up in one of the episodes before, halted one game while adding another. Edgecase Games, makers of the MOBA Fractured Space, has been picked up by Wargaming. The two companies have been looking for a way to partner for years, and that this move will result in a brand new MMO that won't be too dissimilar to previous releases from Wargaming. There were 32 people on Edgecase's team, which will bump the Wargaming's UK headcount up to 55. So, what could they possibly be working on? World of Spaceships, maybe? Dreadnought tried that, but with little varied results. Or could they be doing something a little off-brand and finally create Wargaming's first infantry-based shooter-type game? Only time will tell. It looks like CCP fans waiting for a chance to log into Dust 514's successor Project Nova are gonna have to wait a little longer. Today, the company announced that after a number of player research sessions with external partners that even included community members, they have decided not to launch the invite-only alpha phase until further notice. This announcement follows CCP showing the game off at its annual EVE Vegas event. CCP notes that while it was aware players have been waiting to try the game out and offers apologies, the feedback that they've received has convinced the team that they need to return to the drawing board. According to the post, at this time, Project Nova does not live up to our original vision. Of course, this is bad news for anyone who's looking forward to the game, but it probably shouldn't have been expected considering CCP's history with other games. At least it hasn't yet met the fate of some of CCP's other games, which were fully cancelled either after or before getting into the public's hands. And finally, for some real spicy news, loot boxes are finally drawing the attention of Congress here in the United States. On November the 27th, Senator Maggie Hassan issued a request for the investigation into loot boxes during a hearing of the Senate Commerce, Science, and Transportation Subcommittee.
Specifically, we discussed loot boxes, which allow in-game purchases with real currency for surprise winnings, and most of you agreed that this is an area that could use additional oversight by the FTC.
Especially as they pertain to the way children interact with them. She mentioned the regulations that exist in other countries such as Belgium, the Netherlands, and Japan, and implored the committee to investigate the issue, receiving a positive response. Hassan claims that loot boxes will represent $50 billion in income for game developers by the year 2022, according to the latest research polls. So, here we have it. The highest levels of the United States government are finally discussing loot boxes. Other states, notably Hawaii, have also addressed the issue, though such legislation has typically not gone very far. With things now progressing to this point, however, it's hard to think that something won't be implemented at some point on a national basis. It might take several more months or even years, but there's a strong feeling that it is coming eventually. And that brings us to our question of the week, which is gonna be a tricky one. How do you think the government should handle loot boxes in video games? Should they force developers to show the odds of the loot boxes? Require it to be part of a rating system forcing games to be 18 and plus with loot boxes? Or maybe even ban them outright? Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. And that's it for this week's Free to Play Weekly. Don't forget to check out mmobomb.com for giveaways and the latest news. My name is Ethos, and I'll catch you guys next week.